People, Superman is finally out. After years of waiting, and after it being announced by James Gunn over 2 years ago alongside the DC reboot, we finally have on theaters the most anticipated movie of the entire year. So it's finally time to discuss whether Superman actually delivered or if it was a huge failure and just a disappointment for what everybody was expecting. Let's talk about it. Last Wednesday, I had the opportunity to go alongside my friends to the theaters to see Superman. And after going out of the theater, after thinking about it for a while, after writing my Letterboxd, the small review in Spanish for my 19 followers. I only have 19 followers, I have about 12. I finally decided to do this video to discuss what I think about it and to express to you what I think of this movie. Superman 2025, directed by James Gunn, portrayed by David Corenswet, was one of the most important movies of the year, at least for comic book fans, anybody who's interested in Hollywood, and in general, anybody who wants to see superhero franchises thrive in cinemas and have some quality at least. This movie was not only important for Warner Brothers in terms of financial success, but it was also important for us, the comic book fans. And I can confidently say that this movie, whether it does well or badly on the box office, it will influence how the franchises of superheroes, the action franchises, and everything that's to come in theaters, how that will all look in the years to come. And it's not only that, but also the fact that the character of Superman has been tarnished and portrayed in a, dare I say, godly or Jesus Christly way. And with portrayals not only like the Man of Steel by Zack Snyder, but also Injustice comic books and video games, we have seen this character becoming this dark figure or even a villain. Meanwhile, on source media, Superman is actually not that. He actually is a hero of hope and a role model and someone that you can look up to and someone you want to become, right? And the reason why this movie is so important, not only in a financial aspect, but for superheroes, is to show to the audiences and to show to people, show everybody that the old-fashioned figures of the comic book media can actually work on the big screen once again. So the question is, if Superman is so important, did it actually live up to the high stakes that it had? So to talk about that, I will first like to talk about the story and the script of this movie. I am a person that genuinely have to say that I loved it and that I feel like it actually delivered and it actually will have a huge influence on what's to come and what we will see on the big screen, and the story plays a huge role in this. The way this movie is written is very important, since I can say that this movie really feels like a comic book issue, like one of those things that you have on your bookshelf and that you read, and you have a lot of issues in these compilatory books, like it's a lot of battles, like it's one overarching story divided into chapters, and that's what makes it very captivating and become, once again, a comic book movie. You have a lot of battles, a lot of action, a lot of high stakes, a lot of emotion, a lot of things that you're seeing and that really work well. Not only is that important in the sense of how the movie tone work, but also the movie is written very, very well in my opinion. A lot of people say that the dialogue is very straightforward, and maybe I can agree with that in some places. Nonetheless, I think that the motivations of your characters are very well established. The story is very well developed, even though I wish the movie was longer, because I could literally just sit there and watch Superman's and this movie over and over, and I would love it for it to last forever, right? But the time that we have is genuinely so well used, and the story is something that really makes the movie feel entertaining, captivating, fun, and everything that you want from Superman. And that's why I need to talk about the characters too. because they're also very important in this story. We have great casting choices. David Corenswet is the best Superman iteration we have ever had. Like, he genuinely feels like a Boy Scout. He genuinely feels like the character that will bring you hope, that will make you look up, and a character that really makes you want to wear a wristband to the movies because you're a fan of it. He is an inspiration. This version of Superman is actually someone you can look up to, and he's human, and he is someone like us, and he just has amazing powers, but he is this character that is a beacon of light and a beacon of hope in a world that is black and white. And David Corenswet is so well here. Like, he does a great job. He is a perfect casting, and I am really happy to see him on screen. And he just not only looks like Superman, he acts like Superman, right? He has all that energy, and he gives a lot of emotion and a lot of innocence, and that's what makes this Superman character very special. But the Superman movie not only has Superman, right? You don't only have Clark Kent, you also have Rachel Brosnahan's Lois Lane, which is also the best situation of the character, best portrayal. She does so well. She does not feel like filler here. The chemistry between Clark Kent and Lois Lane, thanks to the two actors, is awesome. And you can generally feel that you're in love, that they're friends, and that they support each other. Then you also have Nicholas Hoult's Lex Luthor, who just does also an awesome job at being a great antagonist. Lex Luthor is someone you hate, someone you also want him to lose, but at the same time he has motivations, and he is so hateful, and you just love to see him on screen, and I cannot wait to see what they do next with the character. And we also have secondary characters that, although they don't have that much time on screen and they could be explored a little bit more, they also are well presented, and we are left wanting to see more of them in the future. We have the Justice Gang, Mr. Terrific, Green Lantern, now Metamorpho, and Hawkgirl, and they are so compelling. They have great dialogue, great chemistry, and they are portrayed so well by their respective actors. There are some surprise cameos too that work very well. I'm not going to tell you who they are, but generally it's something that feels magical. The movie really feels like it's cementing a universe without taking away the protagonism from Superman. Finally, I think we should talk about Crypto. I really liked his portrayal. No, it's not a portrayal, he's a CGI dog, but I really loved Crypto in this movie, and I think he was a great addition, and he would probably be one of the most popular figures coming out of the movie. So in general, this movie drives so well when it comes to the story and when it comes to the characters and the portrayals. I think the casting was perfect. The chemistry between all of the actors is great, and everybody does a great job. I cannot stop saying great, but generally they do a legendary job. I think this Superman movie will live forever. So now let's talk about one of the quote-unquote issues of the movie according to some people, which is the cinematography and all directorial choices from it. I personally had always been a fan of James Gunn's style, and I had always been really fan of how the Superman movie looked from the trailers. Nonetheless, there have been a lot of backlash about the blue filter, right? And since the teaser came out, I really loved how the movie looked. Nonetheless, now it's some theaters, and after a lot of influence from social media and people getting backlash to how the cinematography looked, how it looked like The Flash, it now looks a little bit more blockbuster-ish, and I'm not the most fan of it. Nonetheless, I think the movie still looks good. Superman has some unique tones, unique colors, unique shots, unique camera movement that makes it feel like a unique movie, and also it makes it feel like a comic book. I am glad that we are moving away from this aesthetic that is just realistic, and we are approaching a aesthetic that is more of a fictional world and something that you see in your imagination. I also think that the camera movement and the camera shots are all done very well, and they accompany all of the characters that we see in the movie very well. The flying of Superman is so well shot, and I can see the influence from Top Gun Maverick, but also all the action sequences are so amazing. I genuinely cannot wait to see them again, and I want to see them on IMAX, because I didn't see the movie on IMAX, and I'm so sad about that. The CGI is a thing that is very talked about too, and I personally saw some flaws, but when you're watching it on the theaters, you don't really care. And I think that though some parts are not perfect, from the effects, most of the movie looks very, very, very good. And I'm really happy to have seen it. And how everything looks, how the monsters, the gods, the superheroes, the metahumans, how everything looks. And there are a lot of shots in the movie that I really, really love. Everything on the pocket dimension. Personally, my favorite sequence, it's the Clark and Lois interview. I think it's the best part of the movie, or not necessarily the best part, like the best thing, but the best shot part of the movie, like it has, in my opinion, the best camera movement, the pans and the tilts, and also the colors in this interview. For me, all the dialogue, all the sequence works very, very well, and I am really, really fan of that particular scene. And with that all being said, I would just like to address the debated question that I made at the start of the video, which is whether Superman actually was successful. So what would I say about this movie? I would say mission accomplished. I personally think that Superman did everything that it had to do. It's that new portrayal of the character that we really needed in this universe. And it's a great start to the DCU, it's a great start for it. And the characters, they live us wanting for more, they live us hype for the next movie that's coming, which is Supergirl, and I genuinely cannot wait to see what the DCU does next. I'm really happy that it's being well received online, and I think that it did its mission, like it generally accomplished what it had to do, which is satisfy both critics and audiences, and now it's just a matter of time to see whether it does well on the box office. I really want it to do well, so I don't know. Thank you to all the crew, to all the cast, to James Gunn, to the BOP, to the actors, to the staff, to the crew working on this movie, because we just saw a once-in-a-generation movie, and I cannot wait for World's Finest. I genuinely need Robert Pattinson to be the Batman of the DCU. I really feel like the superhero universe is about to become even better, the superhero films, at least from the part of DC Comics, because we're seeing some directors coming to direct movies, LOL. We see that maybe Ryan Coogler, maybe the director of Godzilla Minus One, we're going to look at Guadagnino probably, and also Clayface. A lot of movies that are just unique and original and that I cannot imagine, but I know that I'm going to love them. Like, I generally cannot imagine a Clayface movie, a Sergeant Rock movie, a Bane and Deathstroke movie. Like, I cannot imagine that, but I want to see it, and I cannot wait to see what's to come next with this universe, and I cannot wait for Supergirl, and I cannot wait to watch Superman again. So with that all being said, thank you for watching this video. This is my Superman review. I hope you liked it, and leave a like, subscribe, comment what do you think of the Superman movie, and that's it. Yeah, check out my other videos. I have my short film up here on my YouTube. It's in Spanish, but maybe you can put in the subtitles or something. I am an aspiring filmmaker, and I guess I will see you in the movies. Wrap it up. Sun, all over our bodies, and sun, all down the next.